Hey everyone, welcome back to my speed build series at JamaicaPlain here. I'm gonna immediately open up with saying I messed up. I forgot to record me fixing up this building after I built it all up. So this is just me showing off what I did, and I didn't record, which honestly it was just really boring. It was a lot of wood texture sitting around, but I specifically made it so now the stairs they were originally in a corner, but now they're in the middle, and there will be on each side will be an apartment. So this is one apartment, this is two apartments, and then that's a penthouse on the top, and downstairs is a clothing store on one side and another apartment on the other. And honestly, it ends up being a lot better than my original design, and it really sucks that I didn't get a chance to show everyone, but that's really it. I'm going to start on doing the walls and the rest of the infrastructure. We'll decorate it in another episode, alright? So I start off by going right back up to the second floor, because I didn't finish all the flooring when I decided, oh crap, this is what I'm going with. This is what I should probably record. I started doing like a short balcony on the side because, it's a video, I believe, on Tumblr, and it's, I think, in New Orleans, and it's raining, and there's jazz, and it's just like, it looks like it's like balconies above balconies above balconies, and it was so pretty, and I really wanted to do something like that, which doesn't end up happening because it ends up making the build really square. The build's square anyway, but I try to make it look a little less square. I definitely think in between now, probably not like in the future after this has been published or whatever, like before the tour, I'm going to, maybe change up some of the walls because, I use a lot of the same plain wall texture. I did on purpose because I didn't want to spend a lot of time like looking for different wall textures right now. I just wanted to record the shell of the build being made and then fix it later in post and stuff. But honestly, I think I end up not doing that, and I probably won't even do that because I started putting paintings up and everything when I built it. Because like I said, this has all been pre-recorded, so, this video is, this series, technically I'm done. I did not the whole build. There's still some small things that need to be finished. But that was me deleting some of the sides to try to make it look less like a square. Actually, funny enough, I think during like half of this build, I was listening to, what is it called? It's like the radio, it's like it's a radio station mod that is like a compilation of like all the radio stations. So it's a huge mod, but it does have, honestly, I don't listen to like any of the stations except for one of them that I listen to constantly. And if you're familiar with the mod, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it's called the Malt Shop Mayhem radio station. The DJ, I can't remember the DJ's name, and he's kind of no, I don't wanna, like, to the person who made the mod, to the person who voices, the DJ, I'd like, if by some chance they watch this, it's a good mod, and it's good voice acting, I just sometimes hate when he speaks, and I wish he would shut up. Which is ironic, because now I'm going to get into a tangent, because I got into one in a previous video series about not even about why, just like the fact is I like Preston Garvey, and I really hate all the hate he gets. And now it's Travis Miles' turn. I love Travis. I love him so much. I love how, like, awkward he is, and I just adore his little, just the way he talks. I love him so much. Oh, this is me failing miserably to get this thing into place. I was trying to make it so, like, there was still a bit more room and it wasn't just a solid, like, block missing for no reason. It actually ends up looking pretty good. But back to what I was saying, because it's more important than my failure. Ignore my failure. Listen to me talk about Travis. I really liked him from day one. I think he's really funny, like genuinely hilarious. So, like, when he gets turned confident, I air quoted that, he's boring and he's a piece of shit and I hate him. I'm like, why would I ever want that to happen? So I have never done that quest. I literally actually never went into the place in Diamond City where the Dugout Inn. I actually have been there maybe 3 times, and I have made saves for this game over 30 times, and I have never been there. And I've been to Diamond City a million times, but I've never gone in there other than like 3 times. And I didn't even want to go in there. I was doing one of Nick's missions, and his one of the profiles, and you have to go talk to one of the brothers there. So I had to go there, and then it's like, hey, go talk. Vadim wants you, and I'm like, no, because he's gonna make me turn Travis into a Chad, and I'm not doing that. He is my awkward son, and I love him for it. And also, he's just not funny anymore. His nervous little quips were funny. His, like, I'm a cool man stuff just isn't funny, and it isn't interesting, so I've never done his quest. I don't even remember what it's called, though, to be fair, I don't remember what a lot of Fallout 4 missions are called because they're not very interestingly named. That's actually an idea I have for the future, is doing a video about Fallout New Vegas's names because they're really good. Like, a lot of them stick in my mind for a long time after I'm done playing Fallout New Vegas. But you ask me, it's like, name one of the Fallout 4 quests, and it's like, I don't know, like, any of them, really. I think Sanctuaries is called Sanctuary, and that's pretty much all I can remember. But, like, Fallout New Vegas, it's like, one of my favorites is Boone's Quest, One for My Baby, or something. It's that, to be fair, I say they're very memorable, and then I immediately forget what it's called, but that's because I have a pudding brain, and not because it's, a forgetful name. I went on quite a few tangents, and that's honestly gonna be I think my new style of video. Just go naturally with the flow, because I'm having a lot more fun. I have tried doing these videos, like, really, like, technical, like, this is my idea, and this is what I'm doing. But I have more fun talking about my simping for a really awkward character, and my the mod that I use. You know what I realized? I never even got to my point, I don't think, about why I was even talking about radios. My original point was that the Malt Shop Mayhem radio station has a song. I don't know what it is. It's just it's just like a Square wants to have more sides, and the whole time I'm listening to this and I'm looking at my box ass house, and I'm just like, this is a box of wood, and it's not that good. But I do things like this where I put, like, different bump outs, and I try to make things. I end up putting a stairway there because it connects to what will be a diner, or like it's like a fancy ass restaurant. Though honestly, if it was in real times, I'd call it like a Golden Corral style restaurant. It's a buffet that's not very good. But, actually, I've been to Golden Corral. Not, anytime recently when this video comes out in the year 21. The Big C's still doing its thing, so there's not a lot of eating out. But honestly, a lot of people like, well, now I have a whole, like, oof about buffets. And I'm like, honestly, I knew how bad they were before. It's not gonna stop me from eating from a buffet. So there's that. You can't stop me. I love buffets. So I guess back to the build. I do some walkways. This one later becomes a walkway to the Minutemen guard station, because I want to use the rooftops as sort of an advantage point for a lot of nicer stuff. That's why the tower the more you go up, the nicer it is, because you're safer. I don't know why I'm so obsessed right now with, it's like, not even like theoretically, like, a society that's in tiers, but people kind of like pretend it's not, like the real world, but like in the, like, really solid tiers I'm talking about, like where there's like a very distinct point between wealth and distribution and all that jazz. But yeah, the people up top get really nice stuff. They're supposed to be safer, and then the people at the bottom are a lot unsafer, and they're usually in dark. I really like the idea of undercities, and honestly, you have KOTOR to thank for that one. It was a terrace, the place where you land. A lot of people hate that place. I honestly play that game now on autopilot just so I can play the second one, because let's talk about that. The second one is better. I love KOTOR 2 a lot more than I like KOTOR 1. I play KOTOR 1 only because I feel like I'm obligated to, because it's the first in the series. So it's the same with Mass Effects. I play the first Mass Effect every time I want to play Mass Effect 3. The first two Mass Effects. But Mass Effect 1 sucks more than Mass Effect 2 does. Mass Effect 2 is good. I shouldn't say that like it sucks, because it doesn't suck. It's a very good, it's a very, very good game, and it's not my favorite. I will say I like the third one better, which sounds like blasphemy, but listen, I love Garrus, and you get to go on a really cute Garrus date, and honestly, I live specifically just for Garrus date. So, third one, and I like the crew in the third one the best. A lot of people, because, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of, Jack or Miranda. I mean, they're okay, but Jack and Miranda and Thane and all that, I'm just like, okay, they're alright characters. They're okay. But, I don't know, Mass Effect 3 has, James. I love James. I love Vega. Everyone's like, he sucks. I'm like, no, he's my favorite meathead, and I love winning pull-up matches against him. But then you get to go on, cute dates, and you get to really hang out with them and, befriend them, and it's just really nice. It feels like in the second game, you're just a bunch of people stuck together, and they don't interact. I don't know, kinda, but they have, that one scene, but, in Mass Effect 3, they move around a lot more, I think, at least. And they feel like a family, especially when they're like, this is the last game, so they feel like the most family. And then, of course, the Citadel DLC is the best. Oh my god, I love that DLC so much. It's mostly because if you romance Garrus, in the very first mission, he literally doesn't stop saying, there goes Shepard, my girlfriend, and I'm sitting there like, oh my god, And you know what? To be fair, this is technically on topic because Garrus's voice actor is in this game, which is honestly probably one of the first things that people noticed playing this game blind. Because you meet what's his face down by the quarry. When you first leave Sanctuary, one of the very first locations you typically will notice is one of the quarries. It's one of two, I think, the one with the Mirelurks, and immediately right there is, Garrus Vakarian's voice actor, and immediately everyone's first thought is, oh shit, it's Garrus. My first thought was, oh shit, it's Garrus. Because I've never heard him, voice stuff before other than Mass Effect, and I never bothered to look up his, IMDb to see, hey, what else have you been in? Was, Mass Effect some of his first work, or am I just, not listening out for my favorite voice actor? No, he's not my favorite voice actor. I'm sorry, Garrus's voice actor. You're good. Garrus's voice is very good, but I wouldn't say my favorite. Who would be my favorite? I guess I can't really pick, a favorite voice actress right off the top of my head, because just honestly, people's voice, I like voices. Voices are one of my, I really, really like a good voice. So, I can't pick a favorite, even though no, I can't really think of any. I do feel bad though, because I can think of times when I don't like some voice acting. Specifically, again, let's bring this back to Fallout. I don't like, Nora's voice acting. I don't want to say the voice actress, because it's Jack from Mass Effect, and I know her voice is good. But I think that's the problem, is because I originally heard her in Mass Effect using a very, aggressive voice, and when she talks as, a more, calm and, level-headed sounding character, your Nora can be, because, there's not a lot, even her threats aren't that, intimidating. I don't know, she seems very boring, honestly. Not to say there isn't some good stuff, I like a lot of the lines, because in this game, for some reason, there's a lot of lines that are specifically improvised by the voice acting. Like, Deacon, spoiler it for one of Deacon's intro quests, but like you go to the donut shop and like she says your base had like a donut shop underneath, and then under her breath she'll whisper, "That's awesome." And I don't think that Nate does that. I'm pretty sure that's specifically a Nora thing that's said, which is good, which is cool. But then the rest of the times I just feel like the voice acting's very like, I don't know what you call it, bored. I don't know, just not into it. The guys is a lot better, which is funny because I would say the exact opposite about Mass Effect. I'd say Femme Shepard's voice actress is a lot better than male Shepard's, which is not saying much because honestly, no offense to Jennifer Hale, but, and here's some more controversial stuff, other than being Shepard, her voice doesn't work for anything else. I was watching something recently. I don't remember what it was, and I really wish I could. It wasn't something I watched. It was something I was talking about with my cousin. Me and my cousin she is obsessed with Rick and Morty. I was really, really into it, and now I'm just kind of like, I like it, but, I'm a lot more critical about it than I am, like, good things to say about it. So let's just skip that, because I feel like I'm already loading this video up with a weird amount of controversial like opinions about shit. Anyway, Jennifer Hale. She always sounds like Jennifer Hale, and when she isn't being Shepard, it sounds weird. Like, she was like a Daphne's sister in like Scooby-Doo, and it's just like, why is Commander Shepard yelling at Daphne? She's supposed to be an army girl, and I'm like, okay. I guess her voice works for that. And then, so yeah. Oh, and this, I end up walling off because it gets in the way for the stairs to the... Yeah, I extend this, and I say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna put the Minuteman, bunker, like the barracks over the thingy, the house. I hate getting to the end of things. Oh, okay, so I just checked, and I lied. I'm not even, I still have, like, a little less than 20 minutes, not 20 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't know why I'm like, because I think it's like I feel like I should be done. I don't know what the rest of the time ends up being about. I don't decorate, obviously, in this video. That would just be because actually what ends up happening is I was originally going to do, like, the walls and then the interior, all like walls one video, interior another video, but then the interior ended up taking so long that I ended up splitting the interior up into their own video. So now there's going to be a first floor, second floor, and penthouse video. Oh, I remember what I did now. I started putting up pillars, little support pillars, just because things need to look supported, you know. So I can talk about Jennifer Hale and Mass Effect more. Okay, so, well, I already got the opinion out. I just think her voice sometimes doesn't feel fitting. It was like when, I don't know, she plays a very specific voice, and it's very noticeable in a lot of things. Though, to be fair, in Rick and Morty, she played, this alien lady whose name I do not remember. She had 3 boobs. That's all I remember, because that's all anyone would remember about that character. But yeah, she was voiced by Jennifer Hale, and it's just like, oh hey, it's Commander Shepard. Funny enough, looking kind of like an Asari, because she was blue and had like weird head thing. But I don't know, it's an okay episode. I don't think I'd call it like my favorite Rick and Morty episode. Hey, let's add another controversy, which, well, I literally don't have time to do right now. Rick and Morty. Jerry's my favorite character, and so that episode is not, while it's not a very good episode, I watch it, I tend to not skip it when I'm rewatching the series. Because I've seen the series enough times, I'm going to be skipping some episodes. But yeah, I like him. Leave me alone. My justification is that they make him too pathetic for me to hate him. Like, they literally shouldn't have made him, like, they're like, hey, guess what? He's super pathetic and kind of a loser, Dad. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And they're like, oh, but guess what? He also has tons of trauma. And I'm like, shit, now I feel bad. And once I feel bad about something, then I'm screwed. I like him. It's the same thing with fucking, like, Rusty Venture from the Venture Brothers. Like, at first I'm like, I hate him. He's so annoying. And then it's like, Yeah, but like, oh, his childhood, and I'm just like, oof, yeah, okay. He's not. They're not saying they're great. I'm just saying I have a lot more empathy for them. Empathy, sympathy, whatever. And so they end up becoming my favorite character because it's basically the world saying this character deserves to be shit on, and I'm like, no, but he's sad. You made him really sad, and he's kind of fucked up. So when you think about it, this video has been a lot more fun, just kind of ranting about really dumb topics that they're controversial now, specifically because of how really dumb they are. Likewise, I like Travis Miles because I think he's funny and he's interesting when he's a dweeb. I think the voice actress didn't do a great job for Nora. Nate's is pretty good. John Shepard's bad. Fem Shep's good. Jennifer Hale is kind of meh when it comes to like other roles. And I like Jerry Smith from Rick and Morty. So, closing it up on a bunch of random shit. But I guess we should end it with talking about the build. But yeah, because really there's not much to say until I start decorating and talking about the people who live there. It's and also I add a clinic and I call it like a debt office, basically. The lore being like if you're poor, you can go to a debt office, or if you're like you need to pay off a debt, you go to the office and they'll hook you up with some way to pay off your debt somehow. So that ends up being downstairs, like on like the deck area ends up becoming that, and a clinic because I realized the rich people need a nice clinic, not a crappy clinic. And then I said previously in the last video that I think clothing shop, clothing is really important in post-apocalypse. People don't really think about it, but like sewing is very important. So that person's rich. They get to live on like the bottom floor next to their shop. The second floor, the smaller one is for the owner, the person who works at the debt office, because basically they're pretty set, but they're not exactly the most well off. Next to them is where where I talked about the diner is gonna be. That's the restaurant owner. Because if you own the restaurant, it's the place where people go to eat. You're going to end up being kind of quite well off. And then up here will be the mayor's office, because each settlement gets a mayor, and each the mayor is gonna be especially in like Sin society, you're the mayor, you're gonna be pretty well off. So she, doesn't really matter. I haven't summoned the person yet for this place. Gets like a full deal. Like this has a kitchen, it doesn't have a bathroom. It does have a shower. So I give them all showers later, but not toilets because I couldn't fit toilets in. But they get like they do sadly have to use a public toilet. Actually, you know what? I might try to fix that. I'm gonna go through and fix that. They need their own toilets. You don't live in high society and use a public toilet. But I made some nice public toilets anyway, so there's that. But so yeah, the penthouse has everything, like like a separate bedroom and office. Well, not a separate office. The office and bedroom are the same thing. And then like there's a kitchen, and then there's going to be a living room, and there's balconies to go sit on, and it's all this stuff. And I hit my mic's on a drum right now, so if you get bumped, sorry. Oops. And actually, at the end, honestly, the roofing isn't that bad. It looks a little funky on the outside. I needed the one with the hole because I put a a fireplace there, so I needed a hole for the fucking pipe to go through, and I thought that looks nice. But like, it looks genuinely a lot nicer than I was thinking. It came out, even though it's a little flat on the outside. But then I'm going to probably. Yeah, I finished up some of the walls and stuff, and then I'm just gonna quickly like go through the apartments and I think I double check. I don't fix that gap in the wall until fucking the end of the series, and it bugs me the entire time, and I don't even like my fix for it. I end up having to fix it later, which is really annoying. Those ramps have always been they become a huge pain in my butt, but I end up, making it look okay, and so that's the ramp up to walk up, and then those are like, you got the thing for the underground at the bottom. So that is it for this episode. It's gonna just finish up with me finishing this flooring. Honestly, this was a really interesting one to talk about. It's really nice looking on the outside. It's a little square, I will say, but honestly, there's not much I can do about it. And when I add like the debt office and the clinic, it looks a lot better. And that's going to be the underside, where I'm going to make an undercity. I end up patching up all those holes, and then actually the undercity will be the next episode. I'm really excited about it because it's going to be a longer episode where I do build the walls and I also decorate it. So get ready for that one.